His Excellency Sultan bin Saeed Al Mansouri, the Minister of Economy, has reiterated the strength of the UAE's economy, which he says has not been affected by falling oil prices, pointing out that the UAE's strategy for 2030 is continuing without change and that there is focus on energy efficiency management and its rationalization. In a statement issued on the sidelines of the third session of the Federal National Council meeting in Abu Dhabi on Tuesday, Al Mansouri said that the UAE economy is strong and based on policies set by the government where dependence on oil lowers year after year. He noted that the country is continuing with its prospects of infrastructure unlikely to be affected by the ongoing decline in oil prices. Al Mansouri stressed that the UAE is continuing its strategy of economic diversification and will work to strengthen other sectors, especially industry and services, in order to offset any future declines in oil prices. He added that the new budget for 2016 confirms data from the International Monetary Fund that the UAE is one of the countries less affected by the drop in oil prices, as the non-oil sectors contribute nearly 69% of GDP. Meanwhile, Standard Chartered Bank has forecasted the UAE economy will grow by 2.9% in 2016 from an estimated 3.5% in 2015 as oil prices continue to slide. A slower global economic growth and US shale oil production combined with other factors caused oversupply that plunged Brent crude prices to $37 a barrel on Tuesday from more than $100 a barrel in June 2014. According to a local report, the Standard Chartered Bank in a research note forecast that the real GDP growth will pick up to 3.6% in 2017 on higher oil prices. It went on to reveal that the oil sector accelerated in the first 3 quarters of the year, an attempt to offset oil revenue losses and support real economic growth. Output declined to 2.9 million barrels per day from its July high of 3 million barrels per day. This suggests that current levels are close to full capacity. Abu Dhabi has announced plans to increase oil output to 3.5 million barrels a day in 2018. Abu Dhabi's gross domestic product is expected to grow by 5.2% in 2015 and 4% in 2016. On credit expansion in 2016, a representative from the bank was quoted as saying that it is expected to average 4% in 2016, adding that bank credit growth to the private sector slowed to 5% year-on-year in September from 10% in March. Etihad Rail, the developer and operator of the UAE's national railway network, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Ceva Logistics, one of the world's leading supply chain management companies. The agreement will provide Ceva Logistics with a more cost-effective and reliable mode of transport to complement its services. Furthermore, the multimodal connectivity offered by Etihad Rail will eventually lead to a more effective utilization of the company's assets in the UAE. The Etihad Rail project is being delivered in 3 key stages of development. It will be used to transport bulk and non-bulk materials, offering tailor-made solutions to differing customer needs. Network routes have been designed to accommodate all key customer sectors, with freight facilities positioned to connect production hubs with points of import and export. Once ready, the Etihad Rail network will span approximately 1,200 kilometers across the UAE, providing both freight and passenger services. It will connect urban and peripheral communities, facilitate trade, open up communication channels, and foster economic development across all Emirates in the UAE. Business aviation in the Middle Eastern region is expected to grow further. That's according to the COO of Abu Dhabi Airports, as the authority prepares to support the sector and host the 4th edition of Abu Dhabi Air Expo in March this year. At a press conference to announce the sponsors of the event, organizers also revealed the details of the business aviation exhibition, which is expected to bring over 300 manufacturers and service providers. Scheduled to be held from the 8th to the 10th of March at the Al Bateen Executive Airport in the capital, organizers are expecting over 150 private jets to be showcased at the exhibition, with new additions to include a heli expo for the helicopter industry, as well as the aviation career exhibition to support employment opportunities. The event also comes in line with a recent report by Middle East Business Aviation Association, which projected the industry to be worth $1.3 billion by 2020, with the size of the business jet fleet in the region to grow from 500 planes currently in use to 1,375.
We see this market will basically grow, and we are determined at Abu Dhabi Airport to basically promote it. And you can see the exhibitor. We have 300. We have 300 people, or 300 basically participants, versus 2 years ago they were around 200 or less. The number of aircraft is also growing. We had almost close to 110. This time we are going to have basically 150 aircraft. So you can see it is really growing, and we see there is a growth. And we are determined at Abu Dhabi Airport to promote this type of business, and we hope it will basically improve. As you know, the tourism in Abu Dhabi is basically growing, and therefore what we do is will basically complement the tourism in the UAE, and of course in Abu Dhabi.
During the press briefing, organisers announced that they're expecting a record attendance of over 20,000 visitors throughout the event, with hopes of higher sales figures than the 5 billion dirhams worth of deals signed in the previous edition.
This is a very unique market, and the growth rate is not as much as the commercial, yet Abu Dhabi vision and Abu Dhabi airports is to support this kind of business, thus the Air Expo itself, to open the eyes, national and international, on this segment of the market. Today, the Air Expo in its 4th edition held its place on the international arena. And if you ask the international community now about the Abu Dhabi Air Expo, it's well known, and the major international companies are speaking to us to have their presence and their place within our Air Expo.